To me, cultural diplomacy means that the broad society is interacting across the globe. It means that not just governments talking to each other, but the fact is that people talk to each other in a lot of venues. And to me, then the cultural diplomacy is assuring that a broad discussion among nations takes place, not just a narrow discussion. Well, the whole issue of how we deal with the polarization of society gets to the complexity of society. The fact is that we do have the country split into a political dialogue at the present time, which often happens at the wings of our political system. We are not going to change that probably until we get some of the anger out of the country. There are lots of people who are fearful of where their next paycheck is going to come from, or whether or not there will even be a next paycheck. And as long as you have that kind of fear produces anger, and what we've got to do is find a way to increase the opportunities available to people so that they feel more comfortable in interacting with their fellow citizens. Well, I think what in order to implement a cultural diplomacy pattern for our government, I think we have to recognize that that government is only one part of the dialogue that's going on in the world. Today, because of new technologies, the world is talking to each other in many different venues. The internet has opened up the ability for nations and not just governments to talk to each other, but the citizens of nations to talk to each other, and that we need to find ways of recognizing that more as a matter of national policy. Well, I think that the way in which cultural diplomacy will work out in a new tech era is that we will find more and more need to include people beyond the government in the dialogues that take place across the world. And so where you have international companies operating, for instance, like Google, where they have international interests, we need to involve them as a part of our national effort to assure that the technology opportunities that are available are shared broadly across the world.